Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host El Young, and we are here with the brilliant Von Loop. So, welcome guys.
Thanks very much for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, could you introduce yourselves and what you do within the band?
I'm Andy. I sing and play lead guitar.
Okay, I thought you were starting then.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm Luke. I play guitar, vocals as well. Two of the songs
Cool.
like Mom.
Cool. So let's dive into some questions. So, as kids, what were you listening to?
Well, for me, I was kind of influenced quite a lot by what my parents were listening to. So my dad was like big into like classic rock. So I would have been listening to like the Police, the Eagles, Bon Jovi, things like that. And then as I sort of came into my teenage years and got my own music taste, I started moving on to like
Emo.
the emo stuff basically. So My Chemical Romance and Panic at the Disco, and then Nirvana and things like that. But I think that's kind of one of the good things about our band is that everybody tends to have like a different music taste, like a different background.
I was just gonna say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I just to spike you. No, similar enough. Although parents didn't have too much of an influence on mine. Like little bits, like British music, like Oasis and Blur and The Verve. Then going more, I love musical theatre as well. American bands like Pavement and so on as well. Nirvana. See, we see there is
Yeah,
one.
there's
Oh,
one.
you know,
Yeah.
the biggest one.
Yeah.
So it is. Not that one.
And then like the other guys in the band, so Stevie, our bass player, he would be more into like pop music. He would see like K-pop and J-pop and things like that. He loves that. So you have that aspect, and then our drummer Logan is into like drum and bass, like house music and things like that. So definitely a wide variety within each member of the band.
I have to say rap as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
Luke
to
loves
say
his rap.
rap, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, who actually got you into music? Was it like obviously you mentioned your parents, but uh, was there sort of like your siblings or friends, or was it a journey of self discovery?
All of the above, to be honest with you. I think everybody has that where they have a friend that they meet and they get them into something that they've never heard of. Yeah, the older siblings as well, because their taste is a little bit more advanced because they're older. You know what I mean? Going to bars, going to clubs, I just going out and meet new people. Yeah, that's pretty much it. To be honest with you, in a nutshell. Well, for me,
Yeah,
anyway.
well, for me,
What do you think?
my parents are both quite musical. So my mum plays guitar. My dad's actually a saxophonist. So I was always sort of brought up around music and musicians. So my dad would have been teaching me and my sister, to play little bits on the guitar and
I'm not the
and
saxophone.
things. He taught me a little bit of saxophone,
Yeah.
but we would have like always had musical instruments around and things like that. And then, yeah, just whenever I got to about 16 or so, I was given a free guitar and just said to myself, yeah, I'm gonna teach myself how to play guitar. So, yeah, that was kind of my journey into music. So mainly from my mum and dad, like.
Cool. Yeah, so we've got a question from my head mod, Lisa Boo. She asks, what is your favourite song to perform?
Oh,
Like of ours, because we don't do covers.
yeah, we'll have a cover.
So lazy.
For me personally, it's one it's on our Spotify, or wherever you find your music. It's one called Folklore. It was just, I've always loved playing it. Like even as we were writing it, it was just always had a little special place in my heart. And it was written by
Wait.
this man. So
No.
yeah, that's probably my favorite. I don't know you.
We have a new song called "Stomping on the Demons."
Yeah.
So we do, which I really like. It's really fun. It's a wee bit different, but it's very similar in a lot of ways, which is a contradiction of itself. But here we are now. So so It's that'll be coming out within the next 10 years.
Probably bigger than the next year.
I don't want to put that deadline on.
Yeah. Oh, wrong one. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Lisa Boo, for that one. Moving on from like who actually influenced you to like into listening to music. Who out of all the bands that you've listened to over the years, who was your main influence for you to say, okay, this is I really want to become a musician? Who was your main influence?
Well, for me, it probably would have been around like when I was like 16, 17. So back then I was listening to like the Libertines, Queens of the Stone Age, I think a big one for me. Like if I was writing a song, I would usually have Queens of the Stone Age in mind, in terms of structure and lyrics and things like that. So I would say probably the Libertines and Queens of the Stone Age would probably be my two big ones.
Okay. For me, like teenager, I think I started playing guitar like 14 or 15, thrashing on it. It would have been a lot of punk stuff, so it would have been like Sex Pistols, but then also with like Oasis, just because I like it when you touch on the structure, like, they always fascinated me like that. Some goths or emo stuff like Avenged Sevenfold have this great song called "Little Piece of Heaven." This big weird opera, so it is like really weird opera kind of song. And it's like, oh, there's not much of a repeat in this here. There's about 8 sections before it repeats, which I found fascinating. Then got into, like, as I say, musical theatre. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is an absolutely wonderful musician and songwriter. And I try and put a little bit of him, a little bit of Pavement, a little bit of like Nirvana in all my stuff.
But you would always have like almost like a Beastie Boys element as well. Because if you on our Spotify, if you listen to our songs, the songs that Luke leads tend to be more rap based. So there would definitely be like a Beastie Boy, almost Idols esque influence to them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're the common threads that we get.
Yeah.
They weren't like the main influences though, which is
Yeah.
so, but they would be the main. You sound like that, so you do.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was really normal.
Yeah. We've got another question from Carbonized Stardust. It sort of like follows on from the question from Lisa Boo. It says, we'll flip side of that question from Lisa Boo. What is the song you would never be caught playing?
That's a great question.
Probably the first ever song I wrote.
Yeah. Well, for me,
yeah.
For me, I was having a discussion with our bass player the other day about bands that we felt have got this like legendary status, but we don't understand why. So for me, no, it wasn't T-Rex. I like T-Rex. For me, it was probably like Shop Boys. I just don't. I know this is probably going to offend a lot of people, but I just don't get it. So I'm going to say West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys. I would never be caught playing.
I can't think. Well, I can, but I can't get an answer.
There's also bands that you would never dream of covering because you know you're never going to do it as well.
Anything to
yeah,
Dream Theater.
Yeah,
like I would never be caught doing it because I couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but even the likes of even like Queen and stuff like that, you're never going to be able to do
any Pitbull song
or Bon Jovi.
Any Pitbull song. That's it. The entire back catalogue of one weird man.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Carbonized. So, were you in any other bands other than before you started From Loop?
I was in one other band whenever I was studying music, and it was just basically like a tech band. So it was, just to try and go, you shove people in a room and go, just try and do something, please. Please.
Yeah.
And don't shout at me anymore, because they're all metalheads there and they're all punks, so they just go in and wail their problems away. And it's very cathartic, but at the same time, it's a lot of shite too. So it is. I don't know if you ever were.
I had just sort of like met up with friends who were musicians and jam, but never actually formed a band or did gigs or anything like that. I think I'm the only one in the band who wasn't in one before, because I think Stevie was obviously at Tech with you, so he would have been in bands, and then Logan, our drummer, he would have been in like some function bands. Oh, actually,
No,
that's
never
not
band.
true about me. I was in a wedding band.
You were a church band.
I was in a church band as well. So yeah, I've actually had a couple of bands, but
So now you're unreliable.
yeah, but yeah, so nothing taken as seriously as we're trying to take on it.
Yeah, so yeah, cool. So what has the band been up to, especially over the last year or so?
Last year, I think we actually, like literally this time a year ago, we got a grant to go in and do 5 or 6 tracks, and then we've just been releasing them over, like over 3 or 4 month basis. So we just brought out one there called Leafy Greens, on 12th of July. So it did.
It was the 4th of the 6 that we recorded. So
Yes.
we do have another 2 songs kind of waiting to come out. But yeah, over the last year we've just basically been trying to gig, trying to get money like together to get back into the studio, do a wee bit more. But yeah, I think the last year has been quite a big year for us, because we signed with Soda Records, which was that in the last year? About a year ago?
September.
Yeah. So September last year, we signed with Soda Records. So we've definitely noticed work ethic going up, and determination going up, and
Yeah.
so but yeah, just basically trying to not repeat, well, not repeat, but like trying to go further afield in terms of our gigs, rather than just doing them all within like a 20-mile radius of where we are. We've been going down to Dublin a bit, and just over a year ago we were over in England, had a few gigs over in England. So yeah, it's kind of been, that has been our main focus probably of the last year.
Yeah, very well put. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah. So, I know you've said that you've going to be releasing some new material, like a couple of new songs. Are you writing new material in preparation to go into the studio?
Oh, I have a whole other album.
Yeah.
So it's a constant thing. We don't really work on the live set as much as we should. It's just more fun to write.
Yeah.
So it is, and we kind of focus on that more. I think again, we've got, like, off the top of my head, there's about another 7 or 8 we could walk into the studio tomorrow and do, and then obviously add wee bits on that, and then there's about 4 or 5 more after that. It's just it's our main focus of it there, because it's very cathartic, and it's just the best part of it, and you want to spend your time doing the best part of what you're doing instead of all the other stuff that'll depress you.
But yeah, we're kind of fine, because we practice once a week, and it tends to be, whenever we go into practice, that one of us will just come up with something, and then somebody builds on that, and somebody builds on that, and then by the end of it, we're like, okay, we've got the bones of something here. We'll come back and work on it next week. We always make sure we get it recording, because for a while we didn't, and we probably have about another 20 songs that we've just completely forgotten about.
Yeah.
But we'll get a recording of it, and then come back to it the next week. But then it's almost like a vicious circle, in that somebody will start playing something different, and then we start building on that for that week. And then so it's a process of getting these songs finished, but it's something that we are working on at the minute. But we probably do have maybe another 7 or 8, as Luke said, songs ready to go, essentially.
Cool. So we've got another question from Lisa Boo, and she asks, what is your favourite venue to play at?
Oh, Febbers.
We're doing it.
I love that one.
Yeah, there's a bar in
Crack.
Dublin called Fibber McGee's. If you're ever in Dublin, go to it. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter who's playing. There will be live music.
And there will
go
be
to it.
people.
We played it a few months ago, and there was a couple of hundred people there, and this was on a Thursday night. There's always people there. It's always full. So we're actually going down and playing on a Saturday this time, so that's going to be interesting. There was that, and then we actually played our first festival about 6 weeks ago. It was the Booley Punk Festival in County Kildare, just outside Dublin. Arcadian Nights. Yes, it was Arcadian Nights. Is what the festival was called. But it was great. It was just really well run. It was run by a band called Arcadian Shadows, and they did a great job. You know, it was just 2 days of just solid punk music. It was probably my favorite gig.
I got sunstroke in Ireland.
Yeah. It's just the ginger in it, you know.
I know.
Cool. Cool. Right, I've got another question from Carbonized. She asks, you twos walk into a pub and see Rain, James Hetfield, Bono, Adele, and Lady Gaga. Who are you buying a beer first?
So you're buying me a beer. You're all molly no. I'm just getting to the bone here. So I am. God,
it's definitely not Bono.
Rain.
You know. I would probably, for me personally, no, this is just
obviously it's personal.
Yeah, I don't think the rest of the band will agree with me. I think I would probably go for Lady Gaga.
I would go Gaga. Gaga or Hetfield. Gaga or Hetfield. He'd be interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
So he smoked cigars as well.
Yeah. But I went about it must be about 15 years ago now. I went to see Lady Gaga in concert. I was given a free ticket and didn't want to go.
Oh, you waited in queue.
And I went and she just blew me away with how talented that woman is. So probably Lady Gaga.
We can also talk here about seeing it. You're a Polaroid.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Not a doubt. Annoying.
Corbin said, okay, now I love these guys. New fan.
Wait. I like your name as well. How you spelling that? Corbin, I started.
Follow us on Facebook and everything.
Yeah, cool. So my next question is there any sort of like gigs coming up within Northern Ireland?
Yeah, we have two gigs coming up. One, as we said, was in Fibber McGee's in Dublin. It's on the 3rd of August. So, yes, if anybody is in and around the Dublin area on the 3rd of
Anybody
August,
in the entire city of Dublin.
yeah, come to Fibber McGee's and have a good time. We also have a gig in September in the Students' Union in Belfast.
New Normal.
And yes, with our good friends, the New Normal. So I am very much looking forward to that. Also another very good venue in Belfast.
Sweaty wee box.
Yeah, the Students' Union recently got refurbished and they did a very good job. So it's a great venue.
Cool. Just expanding on that, gigs. Now, if everything is basically lined up, stars, whatever, and you've got the financial backing, would you do like a full tour of Ireland and the UK? Or going spreading out to over to Europe or to North America?
North America, because say I am Boston to get to New York, so I can play a show there and go and watch something on Broadway and sit there and laugh at the hilarity of being like, why the fuck am I here? Why the fuck?
Yeah, I think
Something like that, you know.
if we could, I think North America would be the ultimate aim. But I
I'm
think,
going to see sound.
yeah, I think our current objective is more
Europe.
UK, then into Europe, and then we can look further afield. Japan is also somewhere we would love to go.
Yeah.
Even just like the Far East, like Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, places like that. Would love to go there, but I think the ultimate dream. Well, I think everybody in the band has the ultimate dream just to see Luke's face as we played New York.
Yeah.
So the ultimate dream is probably the States.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so right. I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to work where to. Oh, yeah. Have you got any sort of like merchandise lined up to like for the new releases?
Sore point.
No.
It's something we've been really like looking into. Is to getting merch.
It's always going to be the sustainable stuff.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
A big thing for the band is everything being ethical. 3 of the 4 members of the band are vegan. I'm not, but the other 3 members are all vegan, so it's very important to all of us that it's all ethically sourced and everything's biodegradable and things like that. So unfortunately, that means it's more expensive. So it's a matter of basically trying to get the best price for that. And but hopefully within the near future we will have merch available.
Cool. Yeah. So, where can people find you on social media?
This man, is it? You kind of rock. So.
No, basically, it's on all the social media platforms. We're most active on Instagram and Facebook, so we are, and we are Von Loop. I think it's called. Isn't it?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, we are Von Loop. It's called, and that's what we're based. So if you want to come and write to us, we'll write back to you. Talk a bit of shite, and it'll be a good crack.
He'll talk shite.
I will.
We're also on. We are on Twitter and things like that, but X. But we, as Luke said, we're mainly focusing on Facebook and Instagram.
Not even objectively that. It's just I just don't get Twitter.
Yeah, and also like Spotify has almost become almost like a bit of a social media.
You can talk about them.
Yeah, but yeah. So, but in terms of finding our music, that would be on Spotify, YouTube. Apple, YouTube, Amazon, all of that. Yeah. But yeah, if you are listening to this, just send us a message and even let us know that you listen to it. Like, we'll really appreciate any messages that we get. So
it's good crack, chat and shite before.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, guys. Any guys in the chat, if you've got any more questions, please post them now, because I'm going to be asking my sort of like last question to the band. My last question is: any advice for people who want to become a musician?
Get people who are going to actually work with you instead of against you. That will probably be the best thing. Learn your instrument as best as what you can, and learn what you need, what you feel you need to know. And don't be scared to do something that's going to scare you, because that's going to be the best way you'll actually progress.
Yeah. For me, it would be
get someone else.
Learn pretty quickly what your role is within the band. And I don't mean like necessarily your instrument. So Luke and I actually had this discussion the other night, in that Luke would be the main lyricist in the band, and it's a role that I think you do very well. I would tend to be the music.
Composition.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Our bass player Stevie, he is production wizard. Like, he'll notice like the little small things that'll just improve something, or like in the studios when Stevie really comes alive, because he's like, try this, and
it fucking works all the time.
And then Logan is the drummer, so he's the wild card. So he's just
baiting trees.
Yeah, circles and sticks.
Yeah, so basically
learn what you feel is what you do best, and try to match that with the other people in the band. Because if you have 4 brilliant musicians in the band, that's great. But if none of you know how to write lyrics, or none of you can notice the little small details to just give the song a little something extra, then it's ultimately it's just going to fall down somewhere. But yeah, that would probably be my advice.
Yeah. Also, don't be afraid to like cut your art as well. I think people get very practiced over like little bits that they love, like wee licks that they love, or little. They try and force stuff to happen, and then because they force stuff to happen, they almost kind of suck the soul out of it.
Yeah.
Where if you cut it, something else will go. It's like that kind of concept. If you need to cut a wee piece, you had to grow something else that can be transposed musically. So it can. Yeah.
Cool. Right, guys. I was going to ask. Carbonizers. This read some more of a comment. Really, that's so true. My brother is excellent with instruments, but no one in the band writes lyrics. So yeah.
If they're looking like if they're advice, like read other people's writing and see what is important about why you feel their lyrics are impactful to you, and then try and sort of sit in that stream of consciousness with it, with the subject, and write as much as you get out as much as you can. It's easier to edit stuff than it is to create something new. So get as much get as much as they can out, and then work on it from there. And patience, and he'll do something very, very beautiful.
Yeah, I think the thing that we've kind of been doing in terms of well, I have personally been doing, was some advice that Luke gave me, is whenever you're trying to come up with the lyrics, is when you're figuring out the melody, say anything. It doesn't need to make sense. Just say anything, figure that bit out, and then tweak it from there. That's kind of what I've been doing if I've been writing lyrics. The other thing they could do is just pay Luke, and Luke will write them there. I would offer to do it, but Luke would do a better job.
Cool. Yeah, thank you, Carbonized. And Lisa Boo has said, you have a new follower for sure.
Look at that. Look at that.
We'll follow you back.
Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah. And Corbinizer. Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, check out Von Loop. They are absolutely brilliant. They I've listened to some of their songs, and yeah, go check them out, guys. All the links to Von Loop socials are down in the I can't speak today. All the links down in the description. So please check them out. They are absolutely brilliant. So Von Loop, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hearing from those other two as well. Organizer and the other one.
Lisa Boo.
Lisa Boo.
Don't forget Lisa Boo.
Right.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming on and doing this little interview. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. You too, man. Thank you very much.
All the best.
Right.
Thanks.
Right. Catch you later, guys.
All the best.
Bye-bye.